This is part 2 of the Blender Restaurant Challenge, and I will be modeling an abandoned diner, something like this. And I'm going to get started. As you can see, I brought in an image. It's the same image, and I've just got one facing the front and one facing the side. And yeah, we're going to get started with this. I'm going to actually look down from the top to do this. And we'll do a little bit of the modeling in this video. I'm going to bring in a UV sphere and let's try 20 vertices. Let's see if that gives me what I want. What I want is this line down the middle, and I want it to be relatively smooth, and I probably will put on a subdivision surface on this, but this is what I've got here, and so I'm going to take this and I'm going to box select there and delete, and box select all that stuff and delete, just to leave that one piece. So I'm looking down from the top. I'm going to add a mirror like that and like that, and now I'm going to take this in G and I'm just going to move it around like this. And I'm not going for any specific dimensions. I just want to get the approximate size that I think I'm going to like. And now that I've got that, let's not forget to actually get rid of that. So we have just this rounded piece, which is going to be in the corner. I'm going to turn on clipping. I'm going to box select those vertices there and press E to extrude and pull them in so they hit and they will snap together. And if I shift alt and click there, E to extrude, and I'll do the same there. Alright, so I'm doing the roof, as you can see. Now I'm going to box select this and I'm going to make it longer. And I'm going to start with something like that. I can always change that. I'm going to scale in the Z a little bit. And let's have a look at that right there. If I shade smooth, so I may not need that subdivision after all. So we'll start with that piece. So let's see what we need to do here. Let's actually take both of these and slide them up like that. Okay. So I'm going to select that and just focus on that. So I want to do this here. All right, so I've got this piece and it's going to come down and it's going to extrude out, and I want this and then in and then this. So let's make a piece and then maybe we'll extrude into the middle out of that. So let's see, let's shift alt and click that one edge, and let's press E and S. It come out like that, and it may not have come out evenly, so I'm going to SX, come out a little bit more in the X like that. You know, you can take these vertices and make them straighter if you want. I don't know that's going to matter very much. So we have this. So what I'm going to do is actually select all of that, look from the front, and I'm going to scale Z0, and that's going to straighten them out. And that's what I needed to do. Okay, so that's looking good so far. Let's select that, E to extrude and pull down. And maybe I do actually scale in the Z, need it a little bit more, a little bit taller. Okay, so if I have that, if I put an edge loop in here, and I control B to bevel and I pull like this to make that inside. Let's go ahead and try that. Let's press E and Alt S and pull it in. That might be a little bit much. So let's undo that and let's look a little closer. Alt S, pull it in. It's not much different, but like that. Okay, we can start with that. So, all right, press 2 for edge selection. Shift Alt and click all of these edges. Maybe that this last one won't do anything. So let's, before we do that, let's bring this under. So let's just look from the bottom, E, and let's scale Shift Z and do it that way and pull it under a ways. With that done, let's now grab these edges here and we're going to bevel them. I'm going to use 3, pull, and 1 more, something like that. I can change the width of this after. I'm going to bring an edge here and here. And I'll bring an edge down here. If I did decide to use a subdivision, there's Control 1. Take the whole thing and bring it up. I'm kind of looking at this. Okay. So that does that. And of course, you know, with the metal edge wear, I can highlight those edges. I just want to look. See, it looks relatively even. All right, now that I have that, let's look at this piece here. Let's come in here and Shift Alt and click this right there. It'll have the mirror on it. Shift D, pull it up. P to break it out. So it's got the mirror on it and the subdivision. I'm just going to turn the subdivision off. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to get rid of all these vertices. Take this and let's just take it and pull it down a little bit like this, and it's going to go in, and we'll work on that in a bit. So let's come over here and grab this vertex and just extrude it down. Actually, just pull it down because there were 2 of them there, like that. Okay. Now I'm going to E to extrude, and I'm going to turn off, clipping. And I've extruded, I'm going to pull it out. And it's pretty wide. I'm going to do something like that. I'm going to Alt N, recalculate outside to flip the polys. Okay, so we've got that. I think at this point I will apply the mirror, and maybe I'll get rid of that, and maybe I'll even get rid of that to have just that piece that I built from the roof. And hopefully I can make it taller if I need to. I'm going to add solidify. And I'm going to bring it in until it touches like that. All right, I'm going to apply the solidify, and I'm just going to focus on this, and I'm going to get rid of, I see I've got some extra stuff in here, so I'm going to get rid of all this stuff here, those vertices and those vertices. I don't know what happened there, or I didn't delete them fully. I'm going to get rid of those faces, and now I'm going to Shift Alt and click and get rid of those faces. I'm not going to need those. So let's slash key to look at this. Yeah, okay, I'll just keep working on it. And now I'm going to it's easier if I do this with a mirror, actually. So I'm going to put the mirror back on. I'm going to look from the front in wireframe, and I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm just going to mirror this over, and I'll leave clipping on now. So I can just work on one side, Control R for an edge loop, drag it up. So it's relatively narrow. Okay, there's this lip on here. So do that, and then I'm going to Shift Alt and click this row of polys that goes there, E to extrude, and just pull them out a little bit like that. Okay, so now that I've done that, I can get rid of this edge, dissolve that edge. So I'm going to have this, and let's focus just on this again, and come in here. There's some extra faces I need to delete. That one and this one. Oh, I guess that's mirrored. Okay, good. And this one over here, we'll get rid of that, and then we're going to put a bevel on here on the edge. So Shift Alt and click those two edges and Control B and pull and have 3 on there. Shade smooth. I'll need another edge loop in here for the shading. And I'm going to turn, I guess I got shadow on. I'm going to turn that off, slash key. And this is what we end up with. Okay, so we're going to create the bottom now. And to do that, I'm going to take just one of these edges here. I've taken one that's a little bit inside because of where I think this is going to start from. Shift T to duplicate. I'm going to pull it down. P to break it out. I'm going to save again. And I want just that. I want to fill this in. Why would I want to do that? No, I don't necessarily have to do that. So I'm just going to extrude down actually and have that. And what I am going to do is I'm going to bring this in just a little bit so I have a bit of a lip on it so that I can bevel this edge here with 3, and I'll shade smooth. Now this all's got a subdivision on it, and I think I'm going to shut off the subdivision for now on everything. Oh, that's the mirror. Actually, I'm going to apply that mirror on the top part and get rid of that edge. I don't need that extra edge. And save. And the subdivision is off. Okay. I need to do this piece here, which is going to be the same as this piece here. And it's what's tucked under the silver one there. So let's maybe just use one of these as well. That might be just fine. So Shift D to duplicate, pull that out. P to break it out. And of course I've still got the mirror on everything, so that's great. So let's take that and extrude it down a little ways, shade smooth to make this green piece. And then I'm going to take this, and I think I do need to go like this and tuck it under because, you know, you can see the thickness of that. I'm going to scale this in the X a little bit more and bevel there with 3. And let's make sure. Yeah, I think that was flipped. Let's see if anything else is flipped. Okay, so far so good, and save. So this green piece here, and then there's another one. So I could, and I need that lip there as well. So let me take that in edit mode, Shift D to duplicate, and just pull it down here somewhere. I don't quite know with respect to the very bottom. So I would have that, and that I don't need to have a lip underneath there. I do need this coming off the bottom, so even though I'm not quite sure how wide it's supposed to be yet, now I realize that I shouldn't have done this yet. So I'm going to Control plus a couple of times to there, X faces, yeah, okay. And what we'll do is just look from the side. No, this one's blocking me. I'm going to hide that. So I want this and I want that. So I'm going to take this piece, and I think I'll select the bottom, make it a little bit longer, because I'm going to drop an edge loop in like this. I'm going to extrude that out. So I'll do that. Shift Alt and click here, E and Alt S, and do that. It's a little hard to tell how far to come out yet because I'm going to need these bars to stick in. So I'm just going to do that for the moment, as I always say. And then now I can bevel these with 3. And maybe drag an edge loop up here. Bring everything back, save. And I'm going to take this and actually pull it up above. And maybe I'll take both of these and pull them up above, maybe scale them actually a little bit bigger too. All right, so it's not hard to do, it's just hard to tell where certain things are. So I've got this piece, the green one. So I just really need a piece in between, and then maybe it'll help me understand what to do. And at what level things are is what I'm saying. That doesn't make sense either. These two green ones are at a certain level. This one sticks out to probably the same level or position as this one sticks out. This one is the furthest in, and maybe it's at the same distance in as these. So let's make that just from the inside of this. So let's try this. Well, let's see if I just take that and Shift D to duplicate, pull it up a bit, P to break it out, and then bring it down again and extrude it up. You see, this one here is not out far enough. So we can work on all that. So that's good to know. I actually think that I can scale Shift Z. I think just a little bit. Push it down a bit. All right. With that knowledge, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece here. First of all, it's going to need a bottom lip on it, and that'll make it bigger. E and Alt S and pull. And just look and see what it's doing here. Okay. Let me now scale Shift Z. Let's see if I bring that out like that. Nope, this is not right yet. This green, okay. See, this green has got to be in further because this bar comes out to there, and then it goes to there. So it's a little, I'm finding it a little tricky, to be honest with you. I'm going to Shift Alt and click and Control Plus. I'm going to scale Shift Z, and I'm going to pull it in like that. I can always make this come out more, so I can always start. I can start with that. And now that I've done that, I think I will come back here and get rid of that and take this one, Shift D to duplicate, pull it up because it's the same size. I'm going to, this one just pushes in. I'm going to break that out. All right, we'll get this. I'm going to push it up. It's going to have the bottom lip on it, like this, but it's going to go under that. So I'm going to make the roof part along with that a little bit bigger. I'm going to scale it in the X so that it sticks over, maybe even more. Hold down Shift. I'm going to scale it in the Y. Scale in the X a little bit more. Okay. So this green piece is this one, and then other pieces are going to be on there, but this has got to go in E and S. No, Alt S. That'll work. Okay. And bevel. Save. Let's take the whole everything and recalculate. Okay. So this thing here, yeah, maybe it's okay. Yeah, okay. Let's try throwing on a bar. I think that'll help me a little bit. So how about if we take just something like this, Shift D to duplicate, pull it out, and P to break it out. So I have that. I'm going to get rid of the mirror. Get rid of the subdivision as well. So take it like that. And let's just extrude it back like that. And then give it some thickness. Push it in. Take this. Yeah, this is going to help. This is what I need, so I know how wide to make this. Take that piece, bring it up. Okay, everything's going to have to be adjusted. I'm going to slide this along. So it's going to go under those and over this piece, which I haven't made yet, and over this, but sort of cut into it, it looks like, maybe even more than that, and then into or underneath that, and to the point of like this thickness on the end anyhow. Actually, it's thicker coming out here than here. You can see it. Now I'm seeing this for the first time now. I didn't think about this. Look at how wide this comes out here versus here. So yeah, we're going to deal with that scale in the Y. Pull it out like that. And I am going to scale it in the X a little bit like that. And we'll take this and just scale shift Z, just pull it under. And we're going to do a similar thing. It's pretty close here and far there. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to scale it in the X a little bit, like that. I'm going to scale it in the Y a little bit. I'm just going to do that. And then this piece, which is the other green one, it's pretty tight and you see it in behind it, sort of. Okay, so I'm going to take the bar first of all, and I'll put a bevel on this in a bit and we'll work on this. I'm going to pull it in like this. It's probably okay like that. Let's just make sure that it's recalculated. In fact, let's do something on the bar right now. So let's get rid of that face, and let's get rid of that face, and let's just put a standard bevel on it. I'll probably do it by hand after 0.02, and let's just to make it look a little bit better. Okay, still not quite right yet. So I want this to be in further, and I want to only see about it like that, right? Okay, so I can just make everything relative to that. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to scale in the X. So just a little bit shows there. I won't worry about the front at this point. We'll just get it to look okay here. And I'm going to take this And really, this is a lot of tweaking, and it's hard to explain what I'm doing and say, okay, do this step and then do that step. So this one is here. Let's take this one and let's scale in the X a little bit. And we'll make those two similar. They may not be exact. I could always copy this one up if I wanted to. I'm not sure it's going to matter that much. And then it's going to come into this. And I think I need to take this whole piece, Shift Alt and click there, Control plus all the way out to there. And I'm going to scale in the X. I'm going to make that wider. And I'm sure I'm going to probably need to scale in the Y as well, like that. So that fits. I'm going to save again. And maybe I will just throw in just a big, piece in there for now. For fact, like this. Okay, maybe what I'll do is I'll take this, Shift D to duplicate, pull it up. I will break it out so it's a separate piece. And that could like sort of sit there for the moment. So we have something in there, and just pull it in. Okay, now obviously it looks like a toaster now, so it's not the right height for everything to be. So that's what we're going to work on next. So I'm seeing though the bottom. I do want to close off the bottom to get a kind of a rounded part, or I could just E and S. I could just do that and bevel this just with a nice big round so it looks like it sits on the ground nicely. Okay, so now we will get some things figured out. Let's take that and scale it in the Z. So that piece is... Okay, well, let's actually think about this. It looks like this is about twice the height of that piece. So if that's going to be like that, let's say, then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to scale it in the Z a little bit, make it about that high. And so therefore I'm going to take all of these pieces here. And actually I'm going to take this and this and I'm going to move it down like that. I'm going to take those pieces here and move it down. Something like that. And this one's got the bevels on it, but it's still behaving badly in terms of its shading. So, yeah, this may be sticking out too much now, but again, we'll figure all that out later as we slowly start to get this going. Okay. Yeah, okay, so we're going to have to lengthen it. So let's do that. Let's come in and let's grab all of this. And I think we can do that, but the top piece, I'm gonna drag it out longer than the diagram because it's bigger. And so I'm just going to do this. And then the top part didn't go completely, so I'll go into wireframe and I'll grab that, start pulling it out, and look at solid view from the side and just get it to roughly where I would think I would want it. So I'm just going to pull it just a little bit past, and I can work on that later. So now it's looking a little bit more like a diner. It's a little bit narrow, and I may want to work on that as well. Let's see, if I pull this out, everything seems to still have the mirror on it. Something like that. It's frustrating me. Maybe I don't have... All right. Well, now I still need this piece in there, though. That's not in there yet. All right, so we're going to work on that in just a second. Let's look. I've got 1, 2, and then I've got the door. I'm going to throw in a couple more bars just for the fun of it here. just so I can start thinking about the width. Now there's going to be a corner piece in a moment, and then the first bar is not going to be too close to it. So there's going to be a corner piece there. The first bar is going to be something like that. So I think it's going to even be longer than that. So I'm going to just by hand, I'm going to do this. So I went 2.6. So that one, I went 2.6 to that one. And this one looks to me like it's a little longer in between. So I might do similar size on these two, and then a long one, and then a narrow one, and then mirror that over. So I am going to have to lengthen this. Shifty, I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to go again 2.6. So you have that one and that one. And then I'm going to come out something like, let's say if it was 3. Let's get a sense for this. Okay. All right, so let's try this then. I don't need to do the bars. I'm going to pull it out like this even longer. Yeah, that's going to be better. Because it's a long piece, long thing. I'll do a little bit of this. No, I can't do that. That's not what I want to do. Okay. So that's down there. It's not quite yet. This, another window. I need the door in there. This thing got all messed up. Let's put that back there. I think I'm still going to make it longer. Could be wrong. A long video, and I'm not really accomplishing that much. Just to get this basic shape. I still have another piece to put in here, but what I'm going to do just for the moment is grab, Shift D to duplicate, P to break it out, just to have this piece here. And let's get rid of the subdivision. Just going to add on a solidify. And I'm probably not going to use this. I might, but just for the moment, I just want to throw this on, and it's not going to be beveled or anything nicely. Just imagine where that is. Now it might be, I might make it narrower too than this. Like, let's turn that off for a second. If I was to get rid of those, actually, that may not be wide enough. I'll just do it for now, just so I can get a sense of where the windows are going to be. So the first section does start on that, and so I would need something like, well, I want them to be similar, like that, and that. It's like that's so. Okay. So the first window's here, and then the second window, the third. So there's 3 of them. Maybe, in fact, these are the same, and this is smaller, and then the door. So there are 3 of them. So it's like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then the door. Okay, hold on a second. So, in other words, what you're saying is this could be the door. So if I make it like this, and I wanted this one to be a bigger one. So this would be the first window, and then this one, and then this one. That would be 3, and then the door, which is narrower. Something like that. What did I do? Let's not do that. Let's back that up a bit. All right, there we go. Okay, back to this. Take that in Control L. If I want to move that. 1, 2, 3 in the door. And then if I bring my 3D cursor to there, I don't really want to do that. I wanted it back where it was. If I take this and I mirror it, it's not quite where I want it. One, two, three. If I get rid of this one, so that the door is here, and then they're mirrored, and so then what I want, Control L, I want this one to be a biggish one. So I got 1, 2, 3, and this is the door where the mirror is. Oh boy, and there we go, something like that. I think I'd like to get rid of that, focus on this, shut the mirror off for the moment, and just bevel these the way I want. I think I'm only going to need the fronts. I think the backs are going to be deleted. So let's just do this. I want to have a different bevel on here. So yeah, the back is going to be inserted, so I can get rid of this, this, and this. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so everything's going to have to be moved, you know, to some extent, in and out, but we're starting to get the idea of what we're going to do. And this video is already getting long, and I didn't get done all that much. Just wanted to have a look at. I would not be doing it this way, but okay. So I got that there like that, eh? Can't really do much if I wanted to do any effects, just for the fun of it, because I'm not going to be keeping this. But if I wanted to, just to get a sense of what it would look like. Say I did this, I went E and Alt S. Just, you know, we get some more interesting detail on this. Oops. Just pull it out a little bit. Certainly not going to keep that. I'm just doing it so that we can, you know, see something. Just pretend for the moment. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, just so we can see the sides. And there's that. Maybe I can get rid of that. Maybe I don't need that on there for now. Throw that just for the fun of it. Makes it look a little nicer. Well, what we can do is we can leave it at that for the time being, and we can come back to this and figure out all the other pieces and get it to look a little bit more like what we want, and we'll move on. All right, so that's going to be it for my abandoned diner. Lots more to do, so we'll see you next time.